What is happening, my calisthenics squad? Today, super excited to bring you our first episode of our new series of calisthenics workouts. So we have our fundamentals workout today. So this will cover all of your basic exercises suited for beginners all the way through to advanced. What is happening, YouTube? Vic here from Streetworkout St Kilda. So today we're going to go through a full body weight workout. It's going to be a calisthenics style workout, so only body weight exercises. We're going through all of the major fundamental movement patterns. So first up we have the horizontal push, best demonstrated by the push-up. We have the vertical push, best demonstrated by Pike push-ups and eventually handstand push-ups. We have a vertical pull, which is best demonstrated by pull-ups. We have your horizontal pull, in which we'll be using inverted rows. We also have all of our core work. So our core work consists of both the abs and lower back, right? So we will be touching on an abs exercise, which is the hollow body hold. In my opinion, it's one of the best ones. And also the Superman exercise, which will be for the lower back. And to finish it all off, we've got some legs for you, yeah? So calisthenics, even though it's predominantly core and upper body, you still need to be balancing some leg exercises into the mix. So with your leg exercises today, we'll be going through some plyometric type stuff. So plyometrics is explosive in nature. So the leg exercises there will be mostly sort of high impact exercises, but if you are a beginner or if you do have pre-existing injuries, then you will be able to also do the low impact versions of these exercises, yeah? So let's get into the video. Alright guys, so let's first up talk about the pull-up. So the pull-up is one of the fundamental movement patterns, so it fits into the vertical pull category. It'll help you work on your lats, your biceps, and also your back muscles, especially the mid to lower traps. Pull-ups are usually quite difficult. So a lot of beginners, when they first start training calisthenics, they're not actually able to do pull-ups in any significant volume. Like they might be able to do like 2, 3, maybe 5, but that's actually not enough. So what I would suggest that you do is to actually make the pull-ups easier. So there are several ways to do that. And you want to be able to hit at least 8 pull-ups. Yeah, if you're not able to hit 8 pull-ups in a row, then you need to make them easier, otherwise you're not going to be able to progress. Progression in all assets of fitness is based on the progressive overload idea. And this idea states that you want to be looking at around 10% increase in your intensity or in the amount of reps that you're doing. And so getting from 3 to 4 repetitions, for example, is super difficult and you're not going to be able to progress. Whereas if you can already do 10, then getting to 11 is a lot easier. And so that's why it's so important to be able to do your exercises at reasonably high reps. The following clip is a good example of what happens when you don't have the strength to do pull-ups correctly. So as you see, the first reps that I'm doing are quite good, but as I get more tired, my form deteriorates. And this is what you don't want. Throughout the whole set of pull-ups, you want to aim for as close to perfect as possible. So perhaps it's hard to tell, but as you see, when the angle changes, I'm lurching forward and I'm also starting to use my hips to actually get above the bar, and that's something that you don't want to be doing. So let's talk about ways that you can reduce the difficulty of the pull-up. So one of the best ways to do that is actually to use a resistance band. So here's a demonstration of me using the resistance band to make the pull-up exercise a lot easier. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to select a resistance band. So resistance bands come in a range of different widths. So the thicker the band, the more assistance it's going to give you and the easier the pull-up is going to be. Once you've selected a band, you want to securely tether it around the bar, thread your feet through, and make sure that your legs are completely straight. You can then commence the pull-up exercise, trying to get your chin above the bar. You want to aim for anywhere between 10 and 15, minimum of 8. If you're unable to do 8, you need a thicker resistance band. If you're doing more than 15 reps, then you should consider using a thinner resistance band. Next, let's talk about the push-up. So the push-up is an example of a horizontal push exercise. It targets mostly the chest, the triceps, and you will get a little bit of deltoid as well. So the grip that you use in the push-up is very important, and it will change the predominance of the muscles involved, right? So the narrower you go with the hands, the more tricep recruitment you're going to engage, and the wider the hands, the more chest activation you're going to get. A lot of people like to do push-ups on the knees if the exercise is too difficult. However, I would recommend against this. I would actually say that you want to mimic the same position, so with straight legs, but what you want to actually do is you want to elevate the hands, and by elevating the hands you're putting more pressure on the legs, and therefore you'll be able to more easily complete the push-up exercise. So ideally what you want to do is you want to find some sort of bench or even like a table, and using that higher elevated surface, you're going to reduce the amount of force that you're going to have to produce through your arms. Moving on, let's talk about the horizontal pull motion, right? So this is best demonstrated by the inverted row exercise. So for this exercise, you'll need a set of parallel bars. Once you're up on the parallel bars, hook your feet onto the side stands, and from there try to make your body as parallel to the ground as possible. You're going to be looking straight up, and you're going to pull yourself up, right, towards the bars. So this exercise is really great because it helps negate some of the postural damage that you're going to be doing with your pull-ups and push-ups. So in our sedentary lifestyles, we've already got really forward-facing shoulders, and by strengthening the chest and also the lats, these muscles are going to pull the shoulders forward. And by doing inverted rows, we're actually working on the rhomboids, the lower and middle traps as well, and these muscles are going to help pull the shoulders back. One thing to keep in mind with this exercise is that you don't want to arch excessively, right? And also you don't want to sink too much either. So you want to find a perfect balance. You can arch a tiny bit, right? Because that'll help you engage your glutes. However, be very mindful. So here's an example of excessive arching. Try not to do this when you're doing the exercise. Albeit this is quite a difficult exercise. So if you're unable to do this exercise to a minimum of 8 reps, what you need to do is regress the exercise. And I want you to regress to the seated row. So the seated row exercise you can do with a resistance band. So again, the thicker the resistance band, the harder the exercise is going to be. You want to grab quite far up on the resistance band, have your feet inside of it, straight back, and pull straight back, engaging your back muscles, especially the mid and lower traps, and also your rhomboids. Try your best to minimize the activation of the upper traps, as in most people these are already hyperactive due to our sedentary lifestyles. Next, let's cover vertical push. So vertical push is for the shoulders or deltoids. The first sort of beginner body weight shoulder exercise that you can start doing are your pike push-ups, right? So pike push-ups are a push-up variant that you do in a downward dog facing position, where the idea is to go down on an angle, so diagonally, leaning forward and then coming back on that same angle. If you want to make the exercise harder, what you'd want to do is you'd want to pop your legs up on an elevated surface, and that way you have a lot more pressure through the arms. And once you've mastered this variation, then you can start moving towards the handstand push-ups. So with your handstand push-ups, I suggest that you use a wall, right? And you're going to be facing the wall and lowering down again, slightly forwards, and then coming back at that same angle. So try not to do it with your back against the wall, because that's going to force you into an arched position, which is really not great for your handstand push-ups and will possibly hurt your lower back. Alrighty, so we've just gone through all of our upper body exercises. Next time we'll be back with core, including abs and lower back, and we'll also get into those leg exercises that I promised you guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure you check out our website where you'll be able to find our calisthenics equipment shop. There you'll be able to buy your resistance bands for this workout, and also you'll find all of our services there, including personal training, group classes, and program design. So hope you enjoyed the workout. Let me know which exercise you found the most useful, and I'll see you on the next one.